I'm going to talk to you about the first lesson today. Today's lesson is about place value. It is 4.2, and it is place value from the ones into the billions place. So what you're going to be learning today is about place value and the value of each digit, and you're going to show us that you know how to do this by correctly stating the place that each number is in. So I want you to look at this first question on my board, and it says, how is it possible to write so many different numbers with just 10 digits, 0 through 9? So I want you to pause the video. I want you to either write this down. If we can turn and share to a partner and do it a safe distance, that's fine. But I want you to think about that question. How is it possible to write so many different numbers with just 10 digits, 0 through 9? And 0 is considered a digit. So pause your video, think about your answer, and I'll come right back to you. Okay, I'm hoping that several of you came up with several answers. If we're in the classroom, we'll ask you to share your answers. If we're doing this remotely, just think about what your answer is. Okay, and so I'm going to show what we have. And the answer is, and I hope yours is similar to this, is digits can be arranged in many ways using different place values. For example, if you have the digit 1, it stands for 1 ones. If you have the number 12, which is 2 digits, you would have a 1 in the tens place and the 2 in the ones place. So that's why you can take all of the different digits and create all the different numbers that you can. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Okay, on this slide, it is called place value match. You are going to read and write the whole numbers in the millions place. Now notice how long this number is. Now that's one of our teaks today, is because in 3rd grade, you only went to the 100,000s place. Maybe it was the thousands place. Maybe it was the 10,000s place. In 4th grade, you're going to take it all the way to the billions place, and really we're going to stretch you a little farther, and we're going to take it to the 100 billions. But this one doesn't go quite as far. We just want to know what you know. So I want you to copy this number down. After you copy this number down, I want you to pause the video, and I want you to look at all of the different words. 100,000s, millions, thousand, hundreds, 10,000s, period, tens, ones, 100 millions, and 10 millions. When you pause the video, I want you to think about, where do these vocabulary words, or where are these places located in this number? So pause your video, fill in this number chart. You can abbreviate as long as you understand what you're saying, and in a few minutes we're going to come back and we're going to talk about the correct answers. Okay, let's talk about the correct answers. If I choose this first one, 100,000s, with your fingers, show me what number would go in the 100,000s place. And if you held up 3 fingers, you are correct. The 3 is in the 100,000s place. Let's look at the next one. The word is 100. Show me with the number of fingers, what place is the hundreds place? Okay. If you held up 8 fingers, then you are correct. That number is in the hundreds place. We're going to skip this one for just a minute because we're going to do a little bit of trial and error. This is probably a word that you have not learned yet or are familiar with. So let's go to the word tens. Okay, showing the appropriate amount of fingers, which number represents the tens place? Okay, if you held up 9, you are correct. That is the tens place. I'm going to leave that one for just a minute. Here's a bigger one. Let's look at this one. It says millions. Which one of those numbers stands for the millions place? Okay, if you held up the 5 fingers, you are correct. That is the millions place. So let's look at the next one. It is the thousands place. Okay, if you will hold up the correct number of fingers, you should have 7, and that is the thousands place. We're almost finished. All right, let's look at the 10,000s place. If you will hold up the correct number of fingers, I'll move this one right up there. The 10,000s place is going to go where the number 4 is. Okay, the next one is the 100 millions place. If you will hold up the correct number of fingers, and it looks like the 100 millions place is where the number 6 is. The last one, or one of them, is the 10 millions place. What number are we going to have for the 10 millions place? That's right. If you held up the number 1, that is in the 10 millions place. Okay, 2 more left. Let's look at the ones place. Guys, that should have been pretty easy. Show me the number for the ones place. If you held up the number 2, that is in the ones place. Now, the last vocabulary word is the word period. In 3rd grade, they might have talked about the place value houses. Well, as a 4th grader, we really don't call them houses anymore. We call them periods. So this is the ones period, this is the thousands period, this is the millions period, and then we have the billions period. And remember, between each period, they are separated by commas when we're talking about whole numbers. Okay? Awesome job. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, now, here is what your place value chart is going to look like eventually. Notice, again, there are commas between the periods, and we actually took you to the billions place. At this point, it is all about just knowing what your place value is. There is a dice game that we can play. I'm not sure that you can play this.
We just put up the numbers, I think.
But they're not making the place value house yet.
Oh.
So they're not making their place values. So I just want you to see this. When you look at this video, if you are struggling with how to make your place value chart, you can refer back to this place value right here. And one thing that I'm going to add is a decimal point right there. So when you go back to make your place value chart in just a few minutes, you can refer back to this slide to help you. Okay, at this point you are going to create your own place value chart. You will either have a grid paper that looks like this, or you can create your own grid paper, or there should be one in the slide or in the lesson for today that you can actually click and print off at your home. I want you to pause the slide. I want you to, if you need to, refer back to the one that we just saw and create your own place value chart. Taking it to the 100 billions if you can. At least go to the 1 billions. So you're going to go all the way from the decimal point. Your whole numbers go to the left of your decimal point. So you're going to take it and you're going to go all the way to at least the billions. If you can take it farther, take it to the 100 billions. You're going to come up about 4 on your place value chart and probably 3 over, and you're going to create it that way. And then in just a moment, Miss Wood is going to show you what our place value charts look like that we do in class. So pause your video, create your place value chart, and we'll be back with you in a few moments.
Okay, welcome back. I hope that you've created your place value chart, and I hope it looks something similar to this. And so as you can see, Okay, you have your numbers to your left, and sometimes it's an easy way to just count over and put a decimal place and start at the left and start and go from ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. Now notice I kind of gave you some information. You have a decimal point right here. Your decimal point goes right here after your ones place. Okay, and all the numbers in front of that decimal place going this way are your whole numbers, and later on we're going to be actually getting into our fractions and our decimals, which come onto this side. So this is what it looks like. Pause this video if you need to really look at it and make sure that you have it copied down correctly. If you have an adult next to you, that would be something else that you could raise your hand or ask your family if you are at home to help you to check that, make sure you have this correct. Okay. I hope you have done that. Now we want you to use that place value chart, and we're going to build some numbers together. And on the smartboard, I'll read this to you. I'm going to slide some little stars out, and they're going to tell us where to put some numbers. So using that place value chart, put a 1 in the 10 billions place. Okay. Put a 4 in the 10 millions place. Put an 8 in the 100 billions place. And put a 5 in the millions place. At any time, you can rewind this video or you can pause it if I'm going too fast for you. Okay, next, when I pull this, put a 6 in the 100,000s place. So think about it. It says thousands, that's going to be in that thousands period, that new vocabulary we're learning. Put a 3 in the billions place. There's a billions period. Put a 2 in the 100 millions place. Put a 7 in the 10,000s place. Put a 9 in the thousands place. Put a 0 in the hundreds place. There's one more down here. Put a 2 in the ones place. Oh, and there was one way down there. And put a 1 in the tens place. Okay. So let me pull this up. Hopefully, maybe I can extend this screen. There we go. Oh my gosh, this is a big, huge number. So, but if you read this number, okay, it starts out in the billions. That's the 813 is in the billions house. That's what you'd start reading it. 813 billion, 245 million, 679,012. So I'm holding this up, and I hope that your number looks like this. Okay. Now we are going to do another one. So doing the same thing, and now you can write the numbers underneath. Okay. Using your place value chart again, let's build this number. You're going to place a 3 in the tens place. We're going to just keep on. I'll read them to you. Place a 9 in the thousands place. Place a 6 in the millions place. And place an 8 in the 100 millions place. Place a 0 in the ones place. place a 1 in the billions place. Place a 7 in the hundred thousands place. And place a 4 in the 10,000s place. Just 2 more numbers here. Place a 2 in the hundreds place. Okay, find that period. And place a 5 in the 10 millions place. Find that millions period. Okay. In checking your number, and I'm going to pull this up close to the video so you can see it, the screen. Okay, we have 1 billion. The 1 is sitting in the billions house. 856,749,230. I hope that your number looks exactly like ours does on our paper. Okay. If you need some time to go back over it or create some of your own and even see if you can read those numbers, you can pause this video and do it now. Okay, and on our last slide for this lesson, okay, we're going to now, let's take word form and write it into standard form in your place value chart, okay? So, right here, you have 345,702. Okay. We want to write this, I want you to write this, but first I want you to think of your houses. So sometimes, and I'm going to show you on the graph paper, but if you know how to do this, you can pause it, the video. Okay. So when we're doing this, do you notice that there, when in words, it says 345,000, comma. Everything in front of this 1,000 is going to sit in the thousands, period. Okay? And then 702, since there's not a period name, like we don't have a ones period, we just put that in our units or our ones area. So it should look like this. The 345 should be in that thousands period. 345,702. Okay. Now, let me read the next one to you and pause the video, and I want you to try to write it in word form, from word form to standard form by yourself. Okay? The number is 901,011. It's a little challenging, but I know you can do it. 901,011. Okay. I hope when you came back that yours looks something like this. Okay? 901,011. Let's go back to the word form and look at how we know where these numbers go. I looked for here and I saw a comma and I found a period name. I see 1,000. So I know everything in front of that comma, 901, goes and sits in the thousands period. So when you look, we put 901 in the thousands place, 901. Then, since there was nothing at the end of 11, and it's after that period name of the 1,000, I know that this sits in my units place. So that's how your number should read. The 11 is going to go in your tens and in your ones. Okay. So, exciting. We have gone through our first lesson with you, and we are very excited that now we know that you can go back at any time and review these videos to help you. It's really, really important that you know those place values and you know them very well. And we'll be singing some songs in the classroom, and you'll have little videos to kind of help you remember it too.
And if you want to practice at home, you can make your place value chart. You can get a dice. You can get your parents to call out a number and tell you what place to put it in. You can put that number in the place. You can write out a number. You can have your parents write out a number in word form, and you can go back and put it in your place value chart. But we've given you examples of way that you can go back and you can practice this lesson.